Thank you very much. You may be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, the President, Deputy President, Cabinet Ministers, Deputy Ministers, 2023. It is therefore my singular honor that I invite His Excellency to commence with the ceremony, Mr. President.
Program Director, Minister Zizi Kodwa, the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Paul Mashatile and Me Hlumile Mashatile, Ministers and Deputy Ministers, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Ms. Nosiviwe Mapisa Makula, Members of Parliament, the Chancellor of the National Orders, Ms. Pindile Baleni, Members of the Advisory Committee or Council on National Orders, Members of the Diplomatic Corps, recipients of the National Orders, together with their families, and fellow South Africans. It is my honor, by COVID-19 restrictions, this in itself represents the determination of a number of South Africans to rise above adversity, to persevere and to strive in pursuit of a better life and a better world. Today we honor South Africans and other foreign friends of South Africa who put themselves at the service of their country and its people, and for those who are our foreign friends who put the interests of South Africa in the work that they have done. They have emerged from a process that involved the receipt of nominations from across the length and the breadth of the country, reflective of the broadly participatory nature of our honors. That the National Orders ceremony is taking place this week is tinged with symbolism. Symbolism that has a lot to do with what we have built as South Africans since 1994. On Thursday, the 20th of April, I received a state visit from President Hage Geingob, the President of Namibia, the land of the brave, who graced us with his presence here in South Africa. Through that visit, we were able to recall the struggles that the people of Namibia waged against the evil system of apartheid. And we were able to recall how we were together in the trenches, struggling against apartheid. And we were overjoyed when they triumphed against the colonialism that had been imposed on them and their struggle against apartheid. They also rejoiced when we triumphed in 1994 against apartheid. On Tuesday, the 25th of April, I received a state visit from the President of the Republic of Finland, His Excellency President Sauli Niinisto. It was a welcome opportunity for us not only to reaffirm the importance of the bilateral relationship between Finland and South Africa, but also to thank the noble Finnish people for all they did to support South Africa's liberation struggle. A day later, on Wednesday, the 26th of April, we received the sad news that our beloved Harry Belafonte, a towering figure in the civil rights movement and a great friend of South Africa, had passed away. In 2008, Harry Belafonte received the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in recognition of his role in sustaining a cultural boycott against apartheid South Africa. As much as we are saddened by Mr. Belafonte's passing and once more pay tribute to his legacy, as South Africans, we are comforted by the fact that we were able to extend our appreciation to him in his lifetime. Yesterday, we celebrated Freedom Day in honor of the historic events of the 27th of April 1994, when our new nation was born. In different ways and in different contexts, the men and women we honor here today all contributed towards the freedom that South Africans enjoy today. They did what they did, said what they did say, and acted the way they did, not for prestige or for fame, not for recognition or reward, but because it was the right thing to do, and they managed to do the right thing. And that is why we are honoring them today. In doing the right thing, their actions had a lasting and enduring impact and live on long after them, what they did, and live long after those who may have passed on. Those who are receiving national awards embody the founding values of the South African Republic, namely the achievement of equality, the advancement of human rights and freedoms, and perhaps most importantly, human dignity. The Order of Mendi for bravery is made to South Africans who displayed the greatest courage in trying to help others. All three of this year's recipients of the Order of Mendi for bravery lost their lives in the cause of saving others. There can be no greater sacrifice. The Order of Luthuli is awarded to South Africans who have contributed to the struggle for democracy, human rights, nation building, justice and peace, as well as for the resolution of conflict. This year's recipients include eminent scholars, liberation fighters, and activists who risked arrest, banishment, exile, and even death to amplify the voice of the oppressed South African people on the world stage in the dark days of apartheid. The Order of Nkamanga recognizes South Africans who have excelled in the arts and culture, in literature, music, journalism, and sport. We are proud to count amongst this year's recipients some of our most outstanding sporting heroes and heroines that I was honored to welcome here at the Union Buildings. Your victories have inspired a whole nation and a new generation of sporting people. I would like to single out for particular mention the awarding of the Order in Gold posthumously to Mr. Solomon Popoli Linda. Even though his music was famous throughout the world, he never received the dues that were due to him in his lifetime. As the democratic government, it is our humble wish that his honor will restore the dignity of Mr. Linda and give comfort to his descendants. The Order of Baobab is awarded to South African citizens for distinguished service, fields of business and the economy, science and medicine. Recognizing these important contributions to the national life of our country inspires the younger generation to follow in your footsteps. Cultivating excellence in these disciplines are the building blocks of a better, more prosperous South Africa that leaves no one behind. By equal measure, the Order of Mapungubwe recognizes South Africans who have achieved excellence and exceptional achievement for the benefit of South Africa and beyond. This year's recipients have excelled in the critical fields of physics as well as environmental science. Finally, the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo recognizes eminent foreign nationals, friends of our country, for their friendship, the friendship that they showed to South Africa. We salute this year's recipients, some of whom are no longer with us, for using their talents and to draw attention to the great injustice that was apartheid. As much as the regime tried to commit atrocities in secret, the friends of South Africa, people in the media and in music, the music industry and in the publishing world, always made sure these crimes that were being perpetrated and committed against the people of South Africa were exposed. They wrote, they published, they sang about us and our plight as a people. I congratulate all who are being recognized and honored today. This is an honor and recognition that is bestowed by the people of South Africa to those who are being honored today. Your good deeds and exceptional achievement will forever be remembered. As William Shakespeare once wrote, "How far that little candle throws its beams, so shines a good deed in a naughty world." By the power vested in me, in terms of Section 84 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, I now confer the Order of Mendi for bravery, the Order of Nkamanga, the Order of Baobab, the Order of Luthuli, and the Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo to the distinguished persons indicated. And they shall henceforth be honored as esteemed members of the orders of South Africa. I hope and trust you all join me even before they come to stage as we salute them. The people of South Africa, the people of South Africa salute them all as you have just saluted them. And I now direct that the orders should be awarded. As I do so, I will ask those who are in charge of this building to switch the air conditioner on before the people who are about to be awarded collapse because of the heat. So I direct that the air conditioner must be switched on. Thank you.
Afrikaans. Kragtens die bevoegdhede aan my verleen by die Grondwet van die Republiek van Suid-Afrika 1996, ken ek die orde van Mendi vir dapperheid, die orde van Ikamanga, die orde van Boabab, die orde van Letuli, die orde van Mapungubwe en die orde van die metgeselle van O.R. Tambo. Die ontvangers word voortaan geëer as gesiene lede van die ordes. Die mense van Suid-Afrika bring hulde aan hulle almal.
Tshivenda, nga maanda enda hweswa one, nga tshipida tsha vhufumalo ina tsha Republic ya Afrika Tshipembe tsha ṅwaha wa 1960, ndi ṋetshedza tshiala tsha Mendi tsha vhuhali, tshiala tsha Ikhamanga, tshiala tsha Muvhuyu, tshiala tsha Luthuli, tshiala tsha Mapungubwe na tshiala tsha ṱhama dza O.R. Tambo. Vhaṱanganedzi vha ḓo ṱhonifhiwa sa miraḓo ya dzioda. Vhathu vha Afrika Tshipembe vha vha vulela muṅadzi.
Sesotho. Tlasa matla ao ko a fuweng ke molao wa motheo wa Republic ya Afrika Borwa wa selemo sa 1996. Ha jwale ko rwesa kgao ya Mendi sebakeng sa ho bontsha sebete, kgao ya Ikhamanga, kgao ya Baobab, kgao ya Luthuli, kgao ya Mapungubwe le kgao ya dithaka tsa O.R. Tambo. Ho tloha jwale baamohedi ba tla hlomphuwa jwalo ka ditho tse hlomphehileng tsa dikgao tsena. Batho ba Afrika Borwa ba tla ba thoholetsa kaofela ha bona.
Xitsonga. Eka matimba lawa ndzi nga va haxeriwa wona hi Vumbiwa bya Riphabliki ra Afrika-Dzonga wa lembe ra 1996, 1996, ndza nyika sweswi mfungho wa Mendi, mfungho wa Ikhamanga, mfungho wa Baobab, mfungho wa Luthuli na mfungho wa vanghana va O.R. Tambo. Kusukela sweswi vaamukeri va ta fundziwa tanihi swirho swo hlonipheka swa Afrika-Dzonga. Vanhu va Afrika-Dzonga va hluvulela swidloko hinkwavo.
Setswana. Ka dithata tse di neilweng ke Molaotheo wa Repaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa ngwaga wa 1996, jaanong ke neelana ka sekgele sa Mendi sa bopelokgale, sekgele sa Ikhamanga, sekgele sa Baobab, sekgele sa Luthuli, sekgele sa Mapungubwe le sekgele tsa ditala tsa ga O.R. Tambo. Baamogedi go tloga fa ba tlotliwa jaaka ditokololo tse di tlotliwang tsa dikgele. Batho ba Aforika Borwa ba ba tlotlomatsa botlhe.
IsiXhosa. Ngamagunya endiwanikiweyo phantsi komgaqo siseko weRiphabhlikhi yoMzantsi Afrika wamawaka 1996, ngoku ndinikezela imbasa yeMendi yobukhalipha, imbasa yeIkhamanga, imbasa yeBaobab, imbasa kaLuthuli, imbasa yeMapungubwe kunye nembasa yamahlakani ka-O.R. Tambo. Abo bazafumana ukusukela ngoku baya kunikwa imbeko njengamalungu abekekileyo embasa. Abantu baseMzantsi Afrika babawathulela umnqwazi bonke.
Sepedi. Ka matla ohle ao ke fiweng ke Molaotheo wa Rephaboliki ya Afrika Borwa wa ngwaga ya 1996, bjale ke abela sefoko sa Mendi sa bogale, sefoko sa Mendi sa Ikhamanga, sefoko sa Mendi sa Baobab, sefoko sa Luthuli, sefoko sa Mapungubwe le sefoko sa bagora ba O.R. Tambo. Baamogedi go tloga mo ba hlomphiwa bjalo ka maloko a hlomphegago a difoko. Batho ba Afrika Borwa ba ba hlompha ka moka.
Sizulu. Ngamandla engithweswe bona ngumthetho sisekelo waseNingizimu Afrika wonyaka we-1996. Ngithwesa manje izimiselo zenkomelo wobuqhawe weMendi, izimiselo zeKhamanga, izimiselo zeBaobab, izimiselo zikaLuthuli, izimiselo zeMapungubwe, izimiselo zabohlobo baka O.R. Tambo. Laba bazothwesa le minyezane kusukela manje bazohlonishwa ngokuba ngamalungu aqavile ezindondo zesizwe. Abantu baseNingizimu Afrika banethulula isigqoko.
IsiSwati ngemandla lenginikwe tona ngaphansi kwemthethosisekelo weRiphabhulikhi yaseNingizimu Afrika weminyaka yenkulungwane nemakhulu layimfica nemashumi layimfica nesithupha. Ngithanda ukuhlonipha ngemkomelo wemendi wobuqhawe, umkomelo webaobab, umkomelo weluthuli, umkomelo wemapungubwe kanye nemkomelo webangani ba-OR Tambo. Labamukeli batawuhlonishwa njengemalunga lasemgcoka etindvondvo tesive. Bantfu baseNingizimu Afrika babethulela sigcoko bonke.
IsiNdebele. Ngaphasi kwamandla enginikelwe wona ngumthetho sikelele weRiphabhulikhi yeSewula Afrika yomnyaka wenkulungwane namakhulu alithoba namashumi alithoba nesithandathu. Gadesi nginikela ngonongorwana wobukutani wemendi, unongorwana we-Ikhamanga, unongorwana webaobab, unongorwana weluthuli, unongorwana wemapungube kunye nonongorwana wabalingani baka-OR Tambo. Abamukeli kusukela gadesi bazokuhlonishwa njengamalunga ahloniphekileko wabonongorwana bokuhlonishwa. Isitjhaba seSewula Afrika sinithulela ingwani noke.
Kweisan. Kwete homke kwinye South Africa ki nientin ses en nientag. Te are mendisi mutetwe, te are Ikamanga mutetwe, te are boba mutetwe, te are luthuli mutetwe, te are mapungubwe mutetwe, te are OR Tambo mutetwe, te kwete ki kara homke kwinye. Kwete South Africa ti si homke kwinye dangienu ngamkwe.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you once more give them a big round of applause? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, distinguished guests, and fellow South Africans, we will now bestow the Order of Mendi.
A very good morning. My name is Nzinga Qunta. It's such a pleasure and a privilege to be your orator today. I'll be explaining the orders a little bit more, even though the President has already done it. The Order of Mendi is bestowed to South Africans who have performed acts of bravery, and that act of bravery may have occurred anywhere in the world. The heroes of the Mendi Order gave their lives so that there may be peace, in order that people of all colors and faiths may regard one another as brothers, not aliens, friends, not foes, and partners and co-workers. I now quote Reverend S.D. Morki, who said, "This is the supreme message of the Mendi, that all men everywhere should regard one another in the very best of terms and realize, as perhaps never before, that their destiny is one, and that since in death they are one, why should there not be one in life too? We die together in war, but fight one another in peacetime. Why can't we here and now live together in love as we die side by side in war? That, I say, is the supreme message of the Mendi. To the brave ones, the Order of Mendi is bestowed." Mr. President.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Order of Mendi for bravery in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Denver Koch, posthumously, represented by Mr. E. Koch, for his selfless, the survivor of other people. Ladies and gentlemen, the Order of Mendi for bravery in silver is hereby bestowed on Sister Mary Ann Tole, posthumously, represented by Mr. K. Tole. This order is bestowed for her selfless act to save others that led to her losing her life. The courageous act remains her legacy to all who knew her in her young life. The Order of Mendi for bravery in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Komotso Thomas, posthumously, represented by Ms. I. Mazabane. The order is bestowed for his heroic rescue of 2 young people from drowning, and in the process, he paid the ultimate prize.
Mr. President, distinguished guests, fellow South Africans, it is now my honor that we bestow the Order of Ikhamanga.
The Order of Ikhamanga is awarded to South African citizens who have excelled in the field of arts, culture, literature, music, journalism, or sports. Out of Africa's cradle of dust, you are the creative spirit that lifts us up and pulses throughout the country. Your tunes go the distance across the streets and the seas. You have heeded the call to run the tough kilometers on our roads and fields and in the museums of our minds. Your perseverance and dedication are an inspiration to all who witness them. Your achievements stand tall, a testament to the human spirit, unwavering. To them, the Order of Ikhamanga is bestowed.
Distinguished guests, the Order of Ikhamanga in bronze is hereby bestowed on Mr. John Arthur Black. For his contribution to action and endurance sport, his achievements inspired many people by their sheer determination of human fortitude. Yes. The Order of Ikhamanga in bronze is hereby bestowed to Mr. Warren Neil Eva. For his contribution to action and endurance sport, his achievements inspired many people by their sheer demonstration of human fortitude. The Order of Ikhamanga in bronze is hereby awarded to Dr. Matodzi Irene Mawela. For her outstanding contribution to the performing arts, her natural voice induces evocative emotions that have moved many local and international people. The Order of Ikhamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Ms. Bongiwe Bongi Dlomo Mawutwa. for her contribution to the fields of arts by curating creative projects that preserve significant periods in South African history. In silver is hereby bestowed on Professor Keith Adrian Gottschalk. For using his creativity to draw critical attention to oppressive and unjust laws through performance political poetry. His work provided strength and motivated many people to fight for liberation. The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Mtutuzeli Ben Nomoyi posthumously, represented by Ms. N. Nomoyi. For his sterling work in television and film industry in South Africa, he was one of the groundbreakers in the production of TV and film local stories. The Order of Ikamanga in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Mfundi Vundla, for his sterling work in television and film industry in South Africa. His body of work in the field of arts is indisputable proof of the value of consistency. Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Mono Arthur Sipo Padela, posthumously, represented here by Mr. P. Padela. For his excellent contribution in the field of journalism and mobilizing the masses against oppression, his storytelling through journalism became an integral part of the struggle against injustice. The Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Ms. Desiree Ellis. For her excellent contribution to football, a male-dominated sport, her sustained excellence provides encouragement to women to excel in their respective fields of endeavor. The Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Siamtanda Sia Kolisi, who is represented here by Mrs. R. For his inspirational leadership and contribution to rugby. He is a trailblazer in democratic South Africa by being the first black person to captain the Springboks to World Cup glory. The Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Solomon Popoli Linda, posthumously, who is represented here today by Ms. E. Nzele. For his contribution in the field of arts as a musician and composer, his creativity saw him produce a song that is both epochal and evocative to the nation. Order of Ikamanga in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Bokwe Smaguhle Mafuna. For his excellent contribution to journalism and political activism. His work is a perfect example of the intersection between journalism and scholarship on the liberation struggle.
Fellow South Africans.
For distinguished service in the fields of business and the economy, science, medicine, for technological innovation, and community service. The baobab tree sustains life from its roots, even in arid, difficult conditions.
The Order of the Baobab in silver is hereby bestowed on Dr. Solomon Boyce Isaac Lefakane. For his pioneering contribution in the field of civil engineering, he inspired many people behind the scenes to take up engineering. The Order of the Baobab in silver is hereby bestowed on Ms. Puti Rakopala. For her contribution in the field of education and demonstrating the need to move with the times by promoting technological awareness and advancement to both teachers and students. The Order of the Baobab in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Cornelius Ruel Stradom. For his outstanding role as a global philanthropist, his work has gained him recognition from leaders around the world. The Order of the Baobab in gold is hereby bestowed on Dr. Gianna Ndege. For his work in the medical field and ensuring the equal distribution of medical attention to all people, especially the previously disenfranchised. The Order of the Baobab in gold is hereby bestowed on Professor Ephraim Tibedi Mokokong. For his excellent contribution to medical sciences in South Africa. He has distinguished himself with his dedication to providing gynecological services to poor women in rural areas. Distinguished guests, the Order of the Baobab in Gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Simon Deliweyo Ngobo, posthumously represented here by Mr. Sonta Ngobo. For his contribution to education by resuscitating a historical school and turning it into an institution that served and groomed many young people who have become leaders in South Africa.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans, we will now bestow the Order of Luthuli.
The Order of Luthuli is awarded to South Africans who have served the interests of the country by making a meaningful contribution in the struggle for democracy, human rights, nation building, justice, peace, and conflict resolution. Throughout its history, the liberation struggle always formed alliances that enhanced its vision of a united, non-racial, non-sexist South Africa. In that time, it cultivated people of extraordinary courage, intellect, and selflessness to direct this vision. Amongst them was Nkosi Albert John Mvubi Luthuli, a committed servant of his people. He pursued a path that displaced the notion of war and violence as vehicles to achieve freedom. Those who continue his legacy are honored today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Order of Luthuli in silver is hereby bestowed on Ms. Molly Bellhouse Blackburn, posthumously, here today represented by Ms. Fen van Donner. For her contribution to the fight for liberation in South Africa, often risking her life, for family upholding the liberation cause and ideals to the end. The Order of Luthuli in silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Moki Jacob Bonisile Tsekisane. for making a significant difference in our society by providing an indispensable bridge between the struggle for liberation and post-apartheid community development. Rules don't work for everybody, no? The Order of Luthuli in gold is hereby bestowed on Ms. Ethel de Keyser, posthumously, today represented by Ms. N. Busika. For her astounding contribution to the struggle for liberation, her fundraising for scholarships for freedom fighters and their children's education kept up the morale of our freedom fighters in exile. The Order of Luthuli in gold is hereby bestowed on Mr. Ibrahim Ismail Ibrahim, posthumously, herein represented by Ms. S. Ibrahim. For his lifelong commitment to the liberation of all South Africans, he lived by the courage of his convictions and became a formidable opponent to the repressive apartheid government.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans, we will now bestow the Order of Mapungubwe.
This order is awarded to South African citizens for excellence and exceptional achievement. We salute the recipients of the Order of Mapungubwe for excellence and exceptional achievement here and across the globe. As we do so, we acknowledge and remember our ancestors sitting on top of Mapungubwe Hill, who represented excellence, ingenuity, sophisticated systems, and trade with nations as far away as China. They have pointed the scepter in the right direction without doubt or hesitation, and we celebrate those that continue their legacy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Order of Mapungubwe in bronze is hereby bestowed on Dr. Abubakar Ibrahim Dango for his yes, just like that. represented by his son, and the order is bestowed on him for his admirable and distinguished contribution to the field of science through his groundbreaking research in physics. The Order of Mapungubwe in bronze is hereby bestowed to Dr. Bahangwele Masindi. For his contribution to environmental sciences, focusing on water. His work seeks to find much-needed solutions to the challenges of water scarcity in South Africa.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, distinguished guests and fellow South Africans, we will now bestow the Order of the Companions of OR Tambo.
A humanist and a mentor of our nation into the promised land of South Africa. Today we honor his spirit in safeguarding the young and vulnerable in our society, guiding us to that non-racial, non-sexist South Africa that we're trying to achieve.
Distinguished guests, the Order of the Companions of OR Tambo and Silver is hereby bestowed on Mr. Peter Winston Hubert McIntosh, posthumously from Jamaica, represented by Ms. N. McIntosh. For his contribution to the liberation struggle, using his musical talent to advance the liberation cause worldwide through his incisive and awareness-raising lyrics in his music. The screen is not moving. It's just not moving.
And this
The Order of the Companions of O.R. Tambo in silver is hereby bestowed on Ms. Ruth Weiss from Germany. Okay. Thank you. For her contribution to the liberation struggle, her prolific writing shone the light on injustices in South Africa. She has been a source of knowledge for other journalists and activists.
Excellent bag. You may want to move forward a little bit. Great. Thank you so much. Pardon? That was the last one. Who closes? The
Program director.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, can we give a big round of applause to all our esteemed members of the national orders? Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are all invited to join the President for lunch in the marquee. This brings to an end the ceremony. The President, the Chancellor, and the recipients will depart first, followed by other guests. Shall I therefore request, as the President take leave, that we all stand. Thank you very much. The President shall be followed by the Deputy President.